This is modern homesteading. Can any of you guess what this is? Some of you know. I've been using one on the homestead for, I guess, over 3 years now. It's a very, very old ram pump. And this was among the things that I got from the old barn. You can see over here, those of you who are new subscribers, this is a ram pump that I built using just regular plumbing supplies. And so what is a ram pump? A ram pump is a pump that was designed in the 15th century that pumps water with no electricity. I know it sounds impossible, but it uses kinetic energy and gravity to force water up to a water tank or whatever supply you want. And it can operate on as little as 3 feet of elevation change. So this old one here is a bit of an enigma to me. I don't really know exactly how everything works, but I'm getting ready to find out. And if it's all complete, which I did a little bit of research online, and it appears to be, I think we can, if we try cleaning it up and putting it back together, we'll go plug it in and see if it'll run. So what do we have here? We've got a really nice brass check valve, which is one of the only moving parts on the pump. It appears to be in good condition. I've got everything soaking in oil. I just removed the bolts for the tank portion of it here, and I don't know what's inside. I'm saving that for you guys. It looks like we have I'm assuming this is the inlet, because it's larger than this, and that's the outlet. And that's pretty indicative or very indicative of a ram pump. I don't know exactly what this is right here. A little brass valve. I don't know if I'm going to be able to get it out. We'll try, but let's pull the tank off. Enough of this chitter chatter and see. Let's get into it and see if we can't get it to run again. So I really don't have any idea. We'll see, the mice have been in here as well. What we got in there? So you can see it's just an empty pressure tank. We've got a gasket here, and we've got. So here's I don't know how this works. Let's take this apart if I can. Look inside there, see what we got. All right, so let's see what we have here. I have no idea what this is. So this is like I don't know what it is. You know, it's not plastic. It's something older than plastic, but it's not metal. It's non-metallic. It's got a screw in the bottom, and then we've got this. It appears to be nothing more than some sort of a spacer. I have no idea what this is, or what its purpose is. It's too rigid to be. Oh, this was probably flexible at one time. I wonder. I don't know. I don't know what that is. So here, broke this guy loose. Let's see what this is. I think this is probably some sort of a little snifter valve, which, if I'm guessing correctly, would prevent the tank from filling up with water. Just bleed a little bit of water out of it. Then we've got something that's like, oh, what is that? Is that a? You know, it appears to be. Yeah, it's some sort of maybe a little valve. You know, my initial impression of this is that it's like a little piece of wood. It's been carved here. Let me clean it off. I'll show you. is that? See, someone's taken a knife and carved these edges on there. You know, that's very bizarre. You know, I see there isn't anything to prevent it from just going through. Am I missing? I'm missing something there. So inside, okay, inside here we have a hole, and then we have this deal here, and then this little piece of appears to be wood. Makes no sense to me, because if there were any water pressure whatsoever, that little piece of wood would simply just be pushed out. But it's obviously been created with that shape for some reason. If I put it in backwards, you know, it still just goes through. I don't understand this. All right, well, let's continue on. Would you like to see a thing of beauty? Look at this solid brass check valve. Here's the housing. Here's the valve, all the hardware, solid brass. Of course, I had to polish it. I am a fireman. Just, you know, some things you can't help. You know, this, when I was working on this, just reminded me of how far we've come and how things have changed in our perception of quality. Have you heard the term designed obsolescence? What that means, that's a term that's common with the insiders of durable goods. Things that are manufactured today, for the most part, are designed to fail at a certain given time. That's why the refrigerator that we buy needs replacing in 7, 8, 9 years. It's designed to fail. It's not because they can't make one or that we can't afford to buy one that would last forever. It's they want to continue to sell us. You know, of course, selling refrigerators or durable goods, if you sell something that a person only needs to buy every 50 years or so, then, well, you can figure that out for yourself. But back in the day, people would not have stood for that like we do. We just accept that as the norm. It was not the norm then, and it wouldn't have been accepted. And had a manufacturer tried that, they would have quickly went out of business. So, you know, just here's a perfect example. So here we have this check valve, very heavy, several pounds of solid brass. Here's the valve, just like an automotive style of valve. And even here, you look and see that there's a replaceable sleeve in there for the valve guide. Why is that? Because as this moved up and down in war, instead of just throwing the whole thing away and buying a new one, you could press that out of there and replace that sleeve and replace the valve and not have to buy the whole part. I mean, right there. That's amazing. It really is amazing. So one thing that I did notice, you can see here, is I don't know how this happened, but the valve you see, the stem of the valve, has got a slight bend in it. And I did have to take some care getting this out because of that bend, and you can see here that now it's off-centered just a little bit when I turn it because of that bend. It does not want to go back in there. These are machine surfaces. These need to ride and seal and be tight. So what we'll do here is we'll take the anvil and we'll very carefully straighten this stem using a brass hammer. Of course, you don't want to beat on brass with the steel hammer. Brass is soft, and you want to use brass on brass. So let's see if we can't straighten this out. So I'll thread the little nut on there to protect the threads, because I don't Obviously don't want to mar those. I want to be sure that we don't beat on the machine surface there, and I'll tilt this up here and I can see exactly what's going on here. Now that I've got that bow out of there, I can use the anvil. I can see them just a little bit. That looks pretty good. Let's try that. There we go. Nice. We got a nice fit. You can see right there, just like a valve on a car. And I have no doubt that over time, when this becomes worn, that you could regrind this valve, regrind the seat, and get years and years of life out of this. I just watched a video of a guy that had a similar ram pump on YouTube that he claimed had been running for nearly 100 years with zero maintenance. I don't know if that's true or not. It wouldn't surprise me. You can see this one here has ran a fair amount. There is a bit of play in the valve guides there, but it seems to me that the seal is pretty good. I cleaned up and polished the mating surfaces, so I don't see any excessive pitting. It just looks tip-top to me. So let's put it back together and start making some gaskets. That old ram pump is interesting, isn't it? Well, how do you like 12 minutes of content? Man, you guys have really spoken out. You don't seem to like the shorter videos, but the upload time on these 10-minute videos is really long and difficult for me, but I'll try. So, if viewership starts falling off, audience retention starts falling off, then we will have to go back a little bit shorter because majority rules around here. As long as it's in line with me. So it's a kind of a what is this? What would we call it? A democratic hybrid. Did you click the thumbs up? Now's a good time. That's the way you can support the channel. I got a hole in my shoe. It's not proper. Well, let's have Mrs. Wranglerstar fix that. So part 2 will be coming up. And I'm missing one fitting. Actually, I'm going into town today, heading into the big city and running some errands, and I'll be picking up a pipe fitting that I need. And as soon as I have that, everything will be ready to plug in. So stay tuned for that. And thanks for watching. We'll see you guys on the next video.